ho, ho, everybody. Joyous Epiphany Day. This is Springfield Johnny with another Authentic Being Show. And this happens to be the 12th day of Christmas, known as the Epiphany. So I'm kind of doing my magician magi thing here because the Star of Bethlehem is key. It's the star of this day, the 12th day of Christmas. And we haven't really had a magical time. Magi, the three kings who came to follow this star, this eastern star, and they came to Bethlehem. And there in the manger was the little baby Jesus. And this is how the story goes. But we're going to concentrate on the Magi because it's their night too. Yay, the Magi! Magi, hoo. We haven't had enough magic in our religion as of late. We've had a lot of war and holy war and jihad and crazy religious people with guns and bombs and gonna bring their gift of freedom to the Iraqis. Gonna build a pyramid. But when I was growing up, Christmas time was a magical time of year, and we had Walt Disney to take us there and bring us down. We had these wonderful trees, and there wasn't just any crazy religious people with guns anywhere to be seen. So let's go in and to celebrate Epiphany Day. I'm going to have to set up my cameras here. And talk about the Epiphany Day. And the king and the fool that were part of the celebration. Of course, I look kind of like a fool, but hey, don't I always? It's part of my shtick. And of course, you've seen me dress up like a king. So, I'm in costume. This is my kind of day. We celebrate the magicians in the world that play such a key role in the most cosmic event of Christianity. The coming of the Magi to behold the star over a manger, so they say. I think it was a sukkot booth, but that's part of Judaism. And I've got probably the most magical flag that ever existed. I'm wearing this. I'm going to wear this every Epiphany Day because it's a very feminine flag. Excuse me. Don't leave out that L, John. No. So we start with the red and white. Well, this is the white rose and the red rose. And when you mix them together, you get the apothecary rose. And this was brought from Damascus by the Crusaders and planted in France. And the apothecary rose has something to do with Fair Rosamond and some other women of lore. When women were allowed to be magical beings and participate in the first church of Christianity of Europe, which was the Catholic Church. So here we've got a whole field of stars, and this is Astarte. She wore a blue cape with stars in it. So this is goddess worship. Magi, goddess Magi, and this is what I tried to get going when I heard that the comet Ison was coming. And this was a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving. I said, "There's a comet called Ison?" And immediately, my magical brain saw something in that word Ison. And I rearranged the letters, like magicians do, and I came up with Zion. And you take the T off comet, you get come. Then you put an O on the T, and you get come to Zion. Come to Zion. Hey, this is better than what's his name? Gene Scott any day. That man lost his sense of humor. So, where are we? So come to Zion, this comet was going to come in, and it was going to do something very spectacular on Thanksgiving Day. I said, boy, you know, I got to get some people together for this, to do this show on Thanksgiving Day, where this comet was supposed to be like 5 times brighter than the moon. And didn't have any friends. They've all deserted me because I'm not normal enough, you know. Too much imagination, unlimited. So I went on Facebook and I found a woman. Her name was Hermes, and I thought she was pretty cool. We talked about some stuff, and I said, you know, let's go follow that star. Why don't you be the first female magi? And she's, you know, she said, next thing I hear is my poster erased. But she did say, John, you really have a lot of knowledge. And this one person got upset, one of her male suitors. He just wanted to talk about champagne and chocolates. And she erased my whole post on this. And she said I was overwhelming her friends. She had a lot of royal friends, and I was overwhelming them. And a lot of them wear crowns and show their castles and show their coats of arms and all that stuff. And so I unfriended Hermes. And this is when Amy Sargent Olds came into my life, because I was talking about my prostate cancer and how I was going to have to go into another operation again because the one I just had failed. And I was in dire stress because there might be the possibility that I would have to use a decatheter every day. Put one in, take one out, put one in. So Amy sent me healing, and voila, her magic did it. All of a sudden I could pee freely. And we became good friends. And she started showing me some of her things. And she had Masonic rings that had the Eastern Star in it. And there was a necklace her grandmother owned that had the Eastern Star. And there was some Masonic ring for the men and some documents. And so we set off on an adventure to look at some of her beliefs that basically were star beings. And we might be the product of star beings mating with earthlings. And there was a bloodline. Well, this is the Moravian bloodline that you hear with the Da Vinci Code. And I've heard this before. But when I saw Amy's artwork, I was just blown away. I said, she's painting automatically. She's picking up things from another dimension. And that was really exciting for me because that's how I painted. And that's how I play music. I play my guitar. It's intuitive. And my 2 books I began in 1986, according to the seers at the Berkeley Psych Institute, they were being dictated by an alien who roams the universe and comes to a planet in dire distress. And so, well, what can that distress be? Well, we're losing our magic. And this is what everybody wants. This is what everybody could have, again, but they want to be the only ones that are magical beings. They don't want anybody else to be magical beings. They just want their cosmology, their teaching, their magical universe, deity, to be the only one. And if you subscribe to any other gods or whatever, then that's blasphemy. You can't look at astrology or tarot cards or anything like that. If you're a Christian, you can't have a Christmas tree, you can't have what you can't, you know, and so it goes. Then you get into the Islam, you know, the only stuff you can do isn't very magical. In fact, it's pretty violent. So, I got into looking at Amy's Masonic things and genealogy. She's related to the Petty family, and there's a beehive, and the Star of Bethlehem with a compass needle pointing to it. Well, that's all part of the Masonic worship of the Star of Bethlehem and the baby in the manger. So she has a coat of arms with a star in it. Her other coat of arms has 2 stars. So I began explaining that to her, and we became the best of friends. Not since my friend Bill died in 1965 have I had a real artistic compatriot like Amy. In fact, she could pass for a sister. She's very lucrative. I mean, she just paints all the time. She takes risks. A lot of people wouldn't say the things that she says, do the things that she says, but she's a risk taker, and that's my kind of artist. It's my kind of magical being. So I noticed on Facebook that someone said, you know, that this day is the Epiphany, the 12th day. And I looked it up, and I was just shocked. What they do is this whole thing about the king's cake, the lamb's wool. You make a bean cake for the king, and for the other women with dried pea for the queen, a dried pea cake, and a cupcake-sized cake for each person with a pea in one and a bean in one, keeping the 2 separate so you'll know from which batch to serve the men and the women. Okay? The king and the queen, once chosen, are honored, obeyed, treated, and addressed as royalty. When they drink, all cry out, "The king drinks!" Oh, what did I do with my grail? Okay, well, I don't drink anymore, so the king drinks. The king drinks. Oh. Okay. The king drinks. We're celebrating this. Epiphany Day, the 12th day of Christmas, right here, right tonight. It may not have been celebrated in America, I don't know, for a couple of years. I don't know if anybody's doing this anymore, but I am. That's just the kind of guy I am. This sounds magical. Some hide a clove in the cake, too, and whoever receives the piece containing it is the fool. If you are a man's cake for choosing the king and a woman's cake for choosing the queen. You could have a clove at each, choosing a fool of each sex. Why not go out and provide the monarchs with golden crowns and scepters, and any fools with a silly fool's hat? Well, boy, did that sure play into my magical hand, huh? You've all seen me wearing this. The king drinks! In my old days, I could carry on like this for 2 in the morning till they kicked me out. So, okay, then you've seen me with this. My incredible, foolish lampshade. The fool drinks. Anyway, this is magical stuff. See, this is what we should be doing, instead we're going to be, never mind. This is a joyous day. And we're going to be bringing this tradition back along with the Star of Bethlehem, because I think the Christians are tired of the political Christians doing all that crazy ass stuff and pretending it's magical stuff from Jesus. I think they want to go back and practice their Christianity in a magical form. And God, by golly, I'm all for that too. Anyway, here's my Merlin with a crystal ball and stuff. Cool. He's a magi. He's off to adore the chosen one. All right. Well, I might continue and make another one of these to really go into some of the details, but I'm just having too much fun, and I hope you are too. All right, this is Springfield Johnny, and saying, the King drinks.